Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to Independence of Christians for inviting me to speak at the 2020 Digital Summit and for all of the important work IDC does to promote more tolerance and peaceful Middle East. Today, more than ever, it's critical that we ensure the protection of what remains of the many minority communities in the Middle East, from Druze to Yazidi to Christians to Jews. One of the most important drivers of intolerance in the region today, sadly, is education. While the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has made amazing progress in implementing Vision 2030 agenda, troubling and intolerant material is still routinely used and taught in classrooms throughout the kingdom. What's more, these textbooks are circulated widely throughout the Arab world, influencing Arab youth throughout the region. Official school textbooks approved by the Saudi government from 2019 to 2020 school year teach students that Christians and Jews are, quote, enemies of Islam and its people, end of quote. Even current textbooks are rife with hateful depictions of Shiites, Jews, Christians, and anyone who would dare to express a faith other than the Saudi interpretation of Islam. The U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom has recommended year after year that the president designate Saudi Arabia as a country of particular concern, pursuant to the International Religious Freedom Act, partially due to the glaring material of their official textbooks. In fact, the content is so bad that Saudi textbooks were materials of choice of ISIS-run schools in Iraq before the terrorists printed their own books. That's why I introduced H.R. 554, the Saudi Educational Transparency and Reform Act, with my colleague Bill Keating of Massachusetts. The Saudis have publicly acknowledged that these egregious contents have now pledged to remove them for over a decade now. This bill would hold their feet to the fire so that they do just that. It would require the State Department to issue an annual public review of Saudi textbooks for any intolerant material. The State Department will also have to go on record to justify the indefinite waiver they have been issuing to Saudi Arabia year after year, despite the glaring and persistent violations of the International Religious Freedom Act, represented in part by the intolerance taught in their schools. In the battle against extremism and terrorism, it is critical that we not just focus on the terrorist, but also on the perverted ideology driving radicalization. This ideology is what has unfortunately transformed the Middle East from the cradle of civilization to a region where the remnants of ancient communities are under daily assault. Thank you again for inviting me to be here today, and thank you to IDC for your support of tolerance and pluralism in the Middle East.